Benny the Butcher took over Jeremy Pennick's life.
So, first off, we got a super special guest here today with us. Doesn't really need an introduction. He's a living legend out of Buffalo, New York. He's come from hard times and he's turned them into something incredible, something that not a lot of people in this world could ever match. And with no further ado, I want to introduce Benny the Butcher from Buffalo.
The Butcher coming. The Butcher is here. He's arrived. What's up with you, my boy?
Welcome, Benny. First off, I want to say thank you for for definitely coming down to Foundation and doing this interview with us, number one. I just want to touch on a couple of topics with you and discuss some of the success you've had in the music industry and just see how we could maybe relate this to other artists that are trying to get where you're at in life.
Right. Beautiful, man. You got a nice setup in here, too.
I really appreciate that. And number one, I want to start out with welcoming you to Olean. What was your first impression of the town as you came down? I just, out of curiosity.
Small town. You know what I mean? Just small town vibes. I'm riding past the houses and seeing all the land. You know what I mean? And I know it's a different kind of culture out here. And the first thing I think of is like, you know what I mean? What music are the kids listening to? Or what music is there any hip hop heads out here? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm a hustler,
Right.
So I'm thinking the same thing. Like we need to be out here. You know what I'm saying?
Is
like,
this my
what's
target
going on?
market or not, right?
Exactly.
Well, I think you'd be surprised at how many. Well, you probably wouldn't be surprised, but you have a pretty big following in Olean,
Nice.
Specifically, especially being so close to Buffalo. Like I said, you're kind of a hometown hero for us as well.
Nice.
So, obviously, the first impression was what type of hip hop heads are here and whatnot. But essentially, it's definitely not a cultured town if you want to describe it that way. But when it comes to someone like yourself. You are well known in this area, and you're definitely a major celebrity, as you are in other places. But
Beautiful,
definitely
man.
here.
Because this is like, upstate. This is home.
Right.
This is home. So I will hope that people here would be familiar with the Butcher, Griselda, Black Soprano family. So to know that they are, I love it, man. We gotta tap in. I'm gonna pop out to one of these bars out here, some shit on a Saturday night.
Let's do some shit, man. Let's make it pop. We do anything you want to do. Got you. So, first question I want to ask you, man, and this is something I ask myself a lot. What type of advice would you give yourself 10 years ago? Because 2016, 2017, I want to say I heard the Shade 45 freestyle with you and Conway. I think it was it on Sway or Funk Flex? I'm sorry.
It was on.
I think it was Sway.
Sway. Yep.
And I was in Buffalo at the time listening to that. And that just kind of changed my whole perspective on the rap game, just so you know, in a positive way. I think you gave a lot of hope to people out in this area. So if you could just elaborate on the type of advice or any type of insight you'd give Benny the Butcher 10 years ago.
Honestly, some sound advice I would give myself, I would really say some shit that I really did. I would tell myself just to perfect your craft, because you're going to need it. You're going to need to be at your best. For what you got coming up 10 years ahead, you're going to be in these rooms with big talent, good talent. They're going to compare you to all the rappers, the current rappers, the past rappers. Like, you're going to need to be at your best. Nigga, put that video game down. Whatever dope you was selling, slap that out his hand, put that shit down. If he was on the phone trying to call a bitch or something, 10 years ago, Benny, I'll slap that nigga. Get in the studio, focus, because you're gonna need that. We're gonna be up against we're gonna be up against some hard competition, and we're gonna be working at a crazy level where we putting out music like a motherfucker. So basically, I would tell them, condition yourself, be ready, because a lot. I see that's a lot of the problems now is that a lot of people don't seem ready for the opportunities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they say opportunity come knocking. Like, man, you want to be ready for that, man. You got to think of how many people just never, you think like, man, why this guy didn't? Why if a guy get drafted to a certain team and he didn't live up to it because he didn't take advantage of his opportunity.
Right.
To at the limit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pull in everything. You can't just go You need 120%.
Gotta
You
optimize.
you can't just do what's expected. So I would tell myself like, yo, condition yourself because you're gonna need to be elite.
Now, with that, and just to elaborate off that question, condition yourself to a standard that you've set, because I don't feel like you're a guy that compares yourself with many people. And not that you
I
should
don't.
be.
I don't.
Not that you should be. But I'm saying, to your own standards, like, make sure you are fucking 100% golden. You need to have 100 verses written.
That's it.
Type of shit.
Have your verses ready. Be nice with your flow. Have your delivery on point. Just make sure that whenever you, know what I mean, just make sure you stand out. You stand out amongst the competition. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because good will always be the enemy of great. You feel what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So it's like mediocre shit. It's cool. It's all right. It's like mediocre shit is literally all right. That's all it is. It's all right. But you got to go above and beyond if you in this business. What they say, how many fucking songs they say?
40 million is what it is. Songs a day. Get
Exactly.
uploaded to Spotify.
40 fucking million songs a day. And you putting out some okay shit? Like, come on. I'm saying, you know what you got to do. Like, you know what you have to do.
Right.
You got to be prepared to do it.
Right. Well, thank you for that. That's definitely given me some insight. How long has music been a part of your life?
Man, I would say as long as I can remember, from riding in the backseat of Johnny P's caddy. You know what I'm saying? And hearing all the music that was going on and that he was playing. And I remember like watching Beat Street, those movies, before I knew what the fuck they were. Before I knew it was culture. It was just a movie that my pops always watched.
Okay.
My mom used to always call me down. Oh, this your song. This your song right here. And I remember it was songs like this. Remember this song right here? Who the fuck sung this song? Tony, you might not know this shit. I know Buff know this shit. Prince. What do you say? Fish lips, black pantyhose. Y'all remember that shit? Buff, you remember that? You remember that shit? But for real, nigga, I was young as hell. My mom like, yo, this your song, come on. Maybe because she told me I used to like the girls in the video or some shit. I was looking.
God, that's bad,
But it's just like, just music. You know what I mean? It was just them like small encounters with music that I could remember way back. And they just been growing. I remember West Side Gun playing the 36 Chambers for me. You know what I'm saying? I remember getting the Biggie album from my boy Maynard. I mean, like a hustler from my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, who had all the dope cars and dope jewelry, listened to all the dope gangster music. Just as a kid, like, yo, let me borrow a CD, and he giving me that, giving me that tape. And I'm saying, and I'm taking that home and I'm studying that shit. So, shit like that.
Now, when you say studying it, like just analyzing lyrics.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because I didn't know what I was doing when I was doing it, but I used to write the music down.
Okay.
Just because I wanted to learn it. Only because I wanted to learn it word for word.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking about it was going to help me on my breath control when I become a rapper. If Biggie is saying it and I'm writing it down, saying it exactly how he's saying it, so I'm going to be, not knowing I was practicing for how I was. I just wanted to learn every fucking word of this song. So I wrote them down. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
That's dope, dude.
Right.
That's really dope. So writing down lyrics word for word just to memorize them, being able to rap them to the song. That's dope. I mean, I feel like you're just a jambalaya of a lot of different styles of strictly lyricists, though.
Right.
So, like, you got Biggie, you got Big L, Jadakiss. I saw you compared yourself to Jadakiss in a comp. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more, bro. I wait for that shit like a Jadakiss verse myself.
Right.
Just so you know, like,
and that's humbling because we know what them Kiss verses felt like back in the day.
Bro. Anything
Kiss was on, and to be honest with you, because I hate to compare myself to these dudes because they giants to me for one, and then for two, they're my friends now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like good friends, stand up friends. I just, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want to never like feel like be saying like I'm the new Kiss or no crazy shit like that because ain't no new Kiss. It's only one. But when people tell me I know what they mean. I only know what they mean because I know how I used to feel when them verses used to come out.
Right.
When them shits used to be
It's
on that mixtape.
empowering.
I'm like, oh shit. It's like it's like you about to watch a movie before you listen to this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's about to give you. It's about to change your mood. It's about to give you a whole different outlook on whatever you was going through. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people like you give me that feeling when they tell me shit like that. So and I understand what they saying. You know what I mean?
Right. And I mean, all due respect to Jadakiss, but like you're in that bracket for me. I mean, that's my top 5. You know what I'm saying? So and again, not to hold you or anything like that, but like
No, it's all good, man. I want to be kept in good company like that.
Right. And
you know what I
I
mean?
just want you to know, like, I was getting worried before you came up, bro, because a lot of this shit was exactly that. It was shit. I couldn't understand a word they were fucking saying. I couldn't relate to it. You know, I don't know about popping 20 Xanny bars and passing out.
Right.
Getting AIDS or some dumb shit.
It got vibey. Music got vibey. You know what I mean?
Too much of a vibe and less of a real translation. And like when you take it back to hip hop, it is a direct translation. Cameron said it on the Bill O'Reilly interview. Not the best interview Cameron ever had, but he did make some great points there. We're just reporters from the streets.
That's it.
Just like Bill O'Reilly, just like you, just like your co-host over there. We're reporting what we see in the street, what we live, the environment we come from.
Go back to like what we was talking about before the cameras and shit was on, is that everything comes from the streets. You know what I'm saying? People, I fucking hate when people act like rap music came out and then
violence came.
Right. Yeah. Then black people start killing black people, or dope start getting sold, or people start filling up the prisons. That's been going to happen. You know what I mean? Like Bumpy Johnson was in Alcatraz in 1941. Right. You know what I'm saying?
This has been going on for years.
Exactly. Only thing happened was we were reporters on what happened. You know what I'm saying? And we rap about what we saw. And long as this continue to happen, we gonna continue to rap about this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can't make it up, right?
Can't make it up. Can't make it up. Everybody, you know, they saying a lot about right now how the record companies is profiting off of Black Death and Black everything. That shit been going on, and the record companies spend the money on what's hot. You feel what I'm saying? When music was vibey, the record companies was fucking with that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just that, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, rap music ain't causing no bullshit. Like we're from the streets. We rapping about what we saw. That's always going to be like street shit. You know what I mean? People gonna always, it's fucked up. But people are gonna always get hurt violently in the streets because it's
in the world, period.
Right. Especially a fucking America. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like things like that. It's like, it's tradition almost, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it's fucked up to say, but things like that gonna always happen. I hate when people get the finger pointing, you know what I'm saying? Instead of fixing.
Blame game.
Exactly, right. Instead of fixing.
What's the real issue here? What are we pointing at? Does Quentin Tarantino get bitched at because some lady chainsawed a dude's head off because he made Death Proof? Like, I don't think so.
At all.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
at all.
It's entertainment at the end of the day. And not that it's not a real experience, but every movie based on a true story is usually a pretty good movie, if you ask me. Right?
But why do people take hip hop so literal? Because I'm not gonna lie, you got guys like me. You got guys like me who been through what I've been through. I've been to prison. I did the street shit. You know what I mean? Got shot. You know what I mean? Did everything, whatever you could do in the streets. But there's other guys. It's other guys who did way more. And there's other guys who did way less, and there's other guys who did none. But when these people get on these records and talking like that, why is it so believable to people? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it.
I think it's just the easiest place to point the finger. And think about that. People want convenience. The first thing people do in a problem or a situation is look for blame.
Right.
Who can we blame? Who did this? Who's causing this? Or quote unquote causing this?
Yeah.
What's the easiest place to point that at? People that are talking about it, right?
That's a fact. You know
so
what I mean?
I think it's just the most convenient place to place the blame. It has nothing to do with the white people that are pumping in all the drugs across the border and giving guns out in the hood. None of that shit. No one cares about that. No one cares about Jeffrey Epstein. None of that nonsense.
They don't give a fuck about that.
It's all about hip hop artists
Yep.
discussing violence that they witnessed throughout their lives,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, exactly. And this another thing we was talking about earlier, because that's the only time they see it. You know, coming from the neighborhoods that we come from, the artists who make this kind of music, we see that and then we report it. These people don't see it. They just hear the reports of it. You know what I'm saying? So they look like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? They rapping like that. Like, this is shit that we see every day that y'all don't see. Y'all just hear us talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. And again, it's just so convenient when anything happens, especially violence in the rap community. Holy shit, where are we going to point the finger? This is an easy one.
Yeah.
It's gangster rap, man. Like, that's
Exactly.
been going on since
But you know what?
89.
Shit is out of control. You know what I mean? Shit is out of control far as, like, man, just back in the day, like, man, you know, none of our rappers was getting killed. You know what I mean?
Not like
a
this,
few, like,
man.
now it's just like every month or every, like, that's scary, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace to Takeoff. Like, you got a peaceful dude, like, dude, he ain't rapping about killing nobody. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't like that. Like, wrong place, wrong time. Best example of it. But, dude, Takeoff? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is the game coming to?
Yeah.
PNB rocking, smoke in Waffle House? Like, God, bro. And then you can't carry a gun? Like, what the fuck? Like, my dude better have a gun on him. I'm just saying, especially at the level you get to where you're at. You know what I mean? Like,
It's tricky, man. It's tricky. Navigating this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a saying that we all heard 1,000 times, but it apply. Like, there's no manual for this shit. You know what I mean? And every day is like, really, you know, we see these people on TV, and we see these people and hear these people on these records, and we think everybody's professionals and shit like that. And they are, but every day somebody is at a new point in their career where they never been at before.
right.
And they navigating that. And they in the position that they are in today, they wasn't there yesterday, and they learning about it. Look at Ye. You think Ye is a perfectionist on damage control? What he got going on right now? He's not. He's dealing with it right now. He's gonna learn from this. He's at a new spot in his career. So, you know what I mean? I feel like, you know, people gotta understand that about artists too. That, you know what I mean? A lot of us figuring it out on the go. Yes, it looked like we geniuses. Yes.
Not only are you figuring out it on the go, though, but it's also changing on the go every day.
That's what. Yeah, that's why we got to figure it out on the go. Exactly.
Changes every single
Right.
day.
True
Especially
story.
with streaming, internet, technology, like, dude, like 10 years ago, there wasn't 40 million songs getting uploaded a day. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Like,
all them songs.
It's crazy because the internet just gives everybody a platform.
Everybody a platform. Everybody has a voice.
No vetting,
you know
process.
It's almost like I used to say this shit when I was in prison. It's like prison, because it's like, if we going to chow in prison and somebody sitting down 3 rows from you, like, I would never be sitting at the table eating with you if we wasn't in prison.
Right.
Like, so on the internet, you wouldn't even be able to talk to me.
Exactly.
You got an app so you could type and tag me. But in real life, you're not even able to talk to me. Not even because I'm a celebrity, nothing. Just because we're in different circles.
Right.
We don't have the same interests. We don't have the same goals. We don't have the same concerns.
We don't relate.
We don't relate. So you wouldn't even be talking to me. But now you can get on the internet and just tell me how you feel about me, and just
my ear, right?
yeah, this shit is crazy.
No, and again, think
You know
about
what I mean?
if you wanted to record a diss record in 1991, bro, you had to find a producer to make the beat. You had to book studio time after you got the beat made and wrote the song. Go pay for the studio time to record the beat, release it to a label that would distribute it, and actually put the song out.
You could
Now you just go to YouTube.
real shit, and even think about it like this too. You could motherfucking just think of the baddest bitch in your mind right now who you want. You could DM her right now.
Literally.
You know what I mean? Like,
you could probably find
it's
her
really that
location,
easy.
unfortunately.
Exactly.
Like,
it's that fucking easy. Like, you could send her a direct message. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is different, man.
The level of access to everybody and everything that the internet has given us is it's a blessing and a curse, obviously. You know?
It's definitely a wonderful tool that I'm using to bring awareness to my platform, which is the Benny the Butcher and Enterprises. You know what I
Right.
mean? Black Soprano Family, Griselda, anything I'm doing musically, anything I'm doing film-wise, anything I got going on, everybody put their shit on social media. So I think it's definitely serves a purpose. But it just more of now people becoming a social media identity. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like you're not who you are. You only are who you are on social media. You know, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm about to be 38 years old, so you know what I'm saying? I got to get used to certain shit
Happy
like that,
birthday.
too.
Yeah, for real. Not
I
and
mean,
like, yo, I'm 34. Like, I feel you, bro. Like, trust me. Like, I'm telling you, you did nothing but give hope out here with this shit because you're a real.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Grinding, carrying it. That's what I call it, man. Carrying this shit. Because this is what I love to do.
Consistency, man.
Right.
It's
And
like
that's what I want people to know I'm going to
level
continue
of
to do that, too.
consistency that you provided that just hasn't changed. It's only elevated, right?
I ain't going to stop. I'm going to continue to do that, too.
So, you took a negative environment that you came from
Yes, I did.
and you completely transformed that into a positive business model.
Yes, I did.
What do you say to people that are in the situation you were in, trying to get into the position that you're in now, that are committing crimes, doing what they got to do, quote unquote? What do you?
That's where it started at right there. Don't feel like, I swear to God, that's how I was going to open it up. Don't feel like that's what you have to do. Because I felt like that's what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I remember telling my kids, like, man, I was in jail because I was to feed you. You know, that's bullshit. I'm saying I ain't got to sell dope. It's just that, you know, maybe my ego was too, you know what I'm saying, big to go work at a certain place, or I didn't have the tools, or I didn't have the guidance. I didn't have the guidance, you know what I'm saying? Other people get the guidance, so I might not have had the role models in front of me, you know what I'm saying? I was having people show me other shit. So that's what we got. So that's why we feel like we have to do those things. You feel what I'm saying? Because everybody else doing them, and that's what we see. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it get the shit get real, but because we don't see it. So that's why I'm talking about it. That's why you asked me that question, so we could tell them, people, like you said, somebody who came from that environment, like, nah, nigga, guess what? We don't got to do that dumb shit. I'm here to tell you.
It's the biggest lie
You know
that
what I'm saying?
society's been telling you for fucking 80 years. You don't gotta do that.
Right. So it's like this. We just got to learn how to, and let's be real, though. The street shit be fun, though, when we be coming up until prison come involved and people start dying. And then it gets real, and then you get older. And then you get older, and then you still in the same position. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the fucked up part about it is.
Right.
But the first thing is to realize that you don't have to do that. And when you realize you don't have to do that, you apply yourself. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, you have to apply yourself. And that's what a lot of people don't do. They don't apply themselves. You got to apply to yourselves. Like success is a journey, not a destination. You gotta wake up every day at that shit. So, be versed in whatever you doing, whatever you into. Like you gotta know. Like them crypto niggas, them niggas know everything. They could tell you what the price, what that shit sold for. You could tell them everything about fucking plumbing. You can tell me everything about studio shit. You got all of this shit in here. I can tell you everything about some shit I probably shouldn't. You know what I mean? I could tell you everything about rapping and, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So it's like,
But it's still profit margins.
right. You gotta know what you into. You know what I'm saying? Like this success shit, it don't, people say they want it. And that's what I learned from being successful. Man, people really don't want this shit. They want the money.
Right.
But you gotta work for it. You know what I'm saying?
Or the clout.
Exactly.
Or the clout.
You don't really want to build nothing because nigga, this take a lot. But anyway, I would just tell them that you don't gotta do that. Apply yourself. You could fucking sell headphones. You could do whatever you want to do. Of course, it ain't gonna be easy. What was easy? Nothing was fucking easy. It ain't easy. It ain't. You know what I mean, real shit. So it's like once you understand those things, you look in that mirror and understand those things. If you're gonna die or spend your life in prison doing what you're doing, or people around you are. Once you realize that and you realize you can apply yourself to other things the same way you did that, the same energy, even more, because it's legal. You know what I mean? So once you realize that, but I think, but that's another plus about the internet. Because I think that helped, a lot of street guys too. Because it's like, this. If the nigga who sells shirts is getting money, if the niggas who sell, like rappers too, we from Eastside Buffalo, like I'm a rapper who go through the hood like this. I don't sell dope. Right. So that make people want to work harder at what they do. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Let me come up with some shit. And I could see it.
Inspiring people.
And I could see it back home. A lot of people got serious about their music. A lot of people got serious about their craft. They're like, this nigga Benny came up. Rick Hyde came up. And I mean, real shit. So it's about just applying yourself, like wanting to do something. It's about wanting more. It's like really working hard for your family at a certain level to be in the 10% tax bracket. It's really spiritual almost, because
I agree.
you know what I mean? It's like the things that you gotta
How else do you get there unless
sacrifice
you surrender yourself spiritually to your craft, right?
Yeah, that's
Is that
it.
not a
That's
good
it.
statement?
People not ready to be like Benny. My name is Jeremy Pinnock. You know what I mean? I say my name. People like, yo, my government. Like, you can Google this shit. I would never be ashamed of a name somebody gave me, but Benny the Butcher took over Jeremy Pinnock's life.
Right.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
made a bunch of profit doing it. And he made it so
Exactly.
Jeremy Pinnock could pay his taxes
Yeah.
legally and not go to in prison for no
So
reason.
that's a fact. And so
Right.
me understanding that and me being responsible, and that's another thing you got to do if you want to get this money, you want to be successful. You got to be responsible. Like, this is a lot of shit that, people are not ready to do. I'm not the most responsible motherfucker in the world, but I'm responsible enough to some point where I know what I got to do to maintain what I got going on, and I'm going to keep doing it.
To survive comfortably.
Right, and I know what I got to do. I know who I need to listen to. I know who I need to hire. I know who I need to keep around me. I know who wing I need to be under. I know the company I need to keep for me to continue to flourish in this game, and I'm gonna continue to do it. Yes, other distractions going on, but like really, you gotta. I mean, no, like this shit don't happen every day for a reason, and that's another thing you gotta understand. Is like you can't you can't be average. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
You can't be average. Once you understand that, I'm saying, like, this shit that you get, this the conversation that people need to have with themselves. You feel what I'm saying? Because this is shit that I need to have. Like, I tell this story all the time. Tone asked me to tell this story. It's like, I was sitting, this is like 2017 when I first signed to Griselda. Remember, I moved down to the house, the 5. That's the house that Wes got, that all the artists was at and shit, that them niggas was living down there. But back home, I live in the projects and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
the locks and got a project address.
I mean, real shit. And this was
That's
even
stressful to me.
no real shit. And this was even before that. Because I was living in a 5. I ended up going back to the projects and going on tour. So this even before that. Wes came back one day. He was showing me in his phone. He was like, yo, which car you think I should get? It was a Benz or a Maserati. I'm like, I don't like the Maserati. He came back with it in an hour. And yeah, he bought it cash. And people might think of Maserati, but I'm trying to tell you, like 5 years ago at that time, with me, this is my cousin. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's more, it ain't like West Side Gun buying a car. Like, this is my cousin who we slept in the same bed together. We motherfucking at house parties, like, you know what I mean, since was raised with him. So it's like, when I see him do that, I'm like, I better focus up and get some money because it's money to be got, right? It's shit going on. Going on. I better focus up.
There's money on the table.
I better focus up, fly straight, and get my shit right.
Right.
That's what that told me, because I'm like, I'm not about to miss my chance to be showing nobody if I'm going to get the Maserati or the Benz. I was like, I could do it. I'm just watching what he doing. I was paying attention to that. And that's another thing. Sometimes when we in the streets, we pay attention to the wrong shit. I know in my neighborhood, it was police officers living in my neighborhood. Am I lying, Buff? Right on the street, on a block that did 20 grand a day. You feel what I'm saying? So I was walking out, looking towards the hustlers, admiring them. Nobody was admiring like a policeman and shit. So sometimes, or the entrepreneurs who lived on that block too, because they did, the homeowners.
Right.
A lot of times, we pay attention to the wrong shit.
That's very
We
true.
admire and glorify the wrong shit.
What catches your attention when you see, like, someone like Fuego Bass?
Uh-huh.
Like, what caught your attention with him?
Of course, I'm glad you asked that. That's a great fucking question. Of course, the bars and everything, but I like to see the hard work because the music just ain't it. That's only the beginning part. I like to see the hard work. I like to see the perseverance. I like to see the will to see your dream through, because you got to have that. You can't, like, if you're an artist, you can't sign to a label and think the label going to do everything for you. You know what I'm saying? Because the label's not responsible for doing everything for you.
Anything for you.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times,
finance you.
a lot of facts.
Right.
You
You're
know what I'm saying?
responsible for everything else.
No, real shit. You know what I'm saying? And they don't, and you know, artists don't understand that. That's what I was going back to, me being transparent. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of these rappers like made it like they deals was like a label was a butler service to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out my nigga Russ. My nigga Russ, he really put me on to, you know what I'm saying, early about shit.
Russ,
Just,
the rapper, the white dude rapper?
Yeah. Just by watching him and just by a couple conversations with him, and then, you know, seeing him implement the things that he was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a hustler. He's a grinder. Like, he don't fuck around it. And he transparent and he show people. But Bass, man, I went on tour, the Burt and the Plug tour. His mom was in the hospital, dying. You know what I'm saying? And he was still making the tour dates. I was letting him go on. In the middle of my set and kick a freestyle. You know what I'm saying? And the crowd reaction always was gonna go crazy, because the crazy shit he was spitting, he was going in. And he knew it was more important for him to be there, you know what I'm saying, for his future and whatever he was dealing with at that point in time. And he knew that this is what I need. And that, I took a lot from that. It was inspirational, to be honest with you. And I'm saying his mom ended up passing away. You know what I mean?
Sorry to hear that.
And yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he here just grinding, you know what I'm saying? Just representing. I don't think she passed away while he was on tour. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I knew
he's going through some shit with his mother.
And right. And he's going there, and he was making these tour dates, and I was sitting back watching. He was making them on his own without me paying for him to get there.
Really? Just showing up, making sure he showed up.
Just showing up.
Doing what I got to do to be there.
And I said, yep. I said, yep. That's what I like. I said, he's ready. He's one that's ready.
So we could narrow it down to work ethic.
Work ethic, man. Work ethic, man. And I mean, I like the artists who know how to work well with, you know what I'm saying, with other people, because that's important. You know what I mean? There's so many different elements to this game.
Right.
Other than the studio.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, right. I like to, you know what I mean, just invite the artists to shows, invite the artists to events, invite the artists to some interviews, you know, just hang around this shit.
J. Cole, like, you collaborated with him, you collaborate with Banks, like, you got all these fucking heavy ass hitters on your collaboration roster.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your favorite collaboration out of all those? That's a tough one, I know, it's gotta be. But who was the most personable? Let's go that route.
I would say, man, it's a lot of them, and a lot of them are favorites for different reasons. But definitely, I definitely got to say, Cole is definitely up there. One of them, because, you know, we kicked it before we did a record, and we kicked it after the record.
Right.
Very helpful conversations. You know what I'm saying?
We made the record together.
Right. The song was very helpful to my career. But, you know, a nigga got a song with Too Short. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, the fuck? A nigga got on a song with Mary J. Blige. You know what I mean? It's on her deluxe. It's like, things like that, man. You know what I mean? Things like that. Just shit with Busta Rhymes. Going back and forth on a song with Styles P. You know what I mean? And
dream come true for
like,
me right there.
like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, what else? What else? Other ones? You know, Lil Wayne. No. When the people don't know, like the Conway, Benny, Cameron, and Jim Jones song, To Whom It May Concern, that's a moment for me. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorites.
Those are my idols.
You know what I'm saying? No real shit. Those was a lot of our idols. Come on. You know what I mean? You ain't the only one.
What basically made you realize that music was a way forward for you? And what was your original vision with the Black Soprano family?
I felt like music was a way forward for me, because music was always an escape. Even before I was getting paid to do it, I was still able to go to expensive studios. I was still able to hang around the big homies and rap with them. So it was always a benefit to me. But like getting older, of course, being a part of Griselda let me know like, nah, you could have to take over the fucking world with this shit. You know what I'm saying? It got bigger, and my goal with the Black Soprano family is just to provide a platform for dope artists and to make sure that they eat, make sure that they informed, making sure that they know the tools and how to use them of grinding as an independent artist,
Right.
as grinding as an up and coming artist. You know what I'm saying? Because not for nothing, but you know we kind of figured it out. You know what I mean? And carved our own lane with the
Right.
Griselda shit. So it's like we have our own like playbook. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Your own algorithm.
Exactly. You know, just sharing that playbook with up and coming artists. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
from the area, not from the area, dope artists. You know what I'm saying?
Where they're from. It's what you
where
are
they
as
from.
an artist, man.
Where they
Simple
from.
as that.
Just making statements as individuals, whether it's music, movies, merch, sports, you know what I mean? Like Soprano family, everything. So we just
And I feel like
branding.
in this industry, like you can't just do music. You
At
can't
all.
just do this. You have to be multifaceted. And like I see you've taken up acting. Like I know that's a big passion of yours too. Like you got Kings and Pawns. You're working with Marquise Moore on that, right?
Yeah.
Dude wrote Walking Dead. Chicago PD. Like he's got a good track record.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
like, what inspired that collaboration? And again, not to get too ahead of myself, but what exactly is Kings and Pawns about?
Man, what inspired the collab with me and Marquise is we always was mutual on the gram and shit, Instagram. But I seen a comment where he left like a comment like, yo, Benny, like one of my favorites. And I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna tap in with this guy, you know what I'm saying? And I just tapped in with him and he was with it. And he came through and we did our first reading not too long ago. And he killed it. You know what I mean? He brought so much to it. And it was just a reading. We just sitting at a table reading the fucking script. And
Who wrote the script?
My boy Keon Lee.
Okay, so essentially the BSF camp is making the
Yeah,
script.
yeah.
For it.
You
So,
know,
and I'm just trying to gain.
No.
Some
This is all in house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My boy wrote the script. My man Harlem, who works with me, he's an A&R. I hate to give people hats who work with me because they do so much work. I hate to give them a title because they do everything. But my boy Harlem, he and my cousin Monica, they helping me doing the cast. Lucrative Media is who's going to film.
You had almost 2,000 people for the casting call, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. No, that was for
Conflicted.
Conflicted.
My bad.
Conflicted.
My
but
fault.
it was
You
also
do a casting
crazy.
call for Kings and Pawns,
Not
right?
yet. We just been doing like little private invites
My fault.
to people so we could pick the you know what I'm saying, pick the main characters. But that's another thing, man. Conflicted gonna be crazy. But Kings and Pawns is about it's a street movie. It's definitely a gangster movie. It's about like some guys who really like they really can't trust nobody they around. This guy in his relationship with a girl, he can't even trust her. Every move is like a chess move. You feel what I'm saying? It's Kings and Pawns. So he realizing who's the pawns and who's the rooks is. So it's like a guy like playing playing chess in a real life situation. You feel what I'm saying? I want to get deeper on there, but it's I mean I would be telling some of the movie. I would be telling some of the movie.
At the end of the day,
you know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's a lot of twists and turns, you know what I'm saying? And unloyal shit going on, Kings and Pawns.
Right. So it's based, essentially the theme is being a king or a pawn in a chess game. Correct?
Exactly. That's what it's about. And knowing when to make what move and knowing how to make what move. You know what I'm saying? And knowing what moves to sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just shit like that.
Right.
I mean,
I can't remember who quote. It might have been Dame Dash, but he said Hove could move in a room full of vultures.
Right.
And still come out on top.
You gotta do it like that.
So
we doing it with Monarch and Swirl Entertainment. You know, Swirl worked a lot with BT. Swirl did some a lot of Lifetime movies. So they excited about like being able to do like some gangster shit.
Right, let's switch the fucking vibe.
Exactly.
Do some interesting shit, right?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
For once.
For real.
Nah, that's what's up. So, like, basically, where do you plan on shooting a majority of Kings and Pawns at? Is it going to be local? Is it going to be L.A.? What are you thinking?
Man, we're gonna shoot a lot of it in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
A lot of it in Atlanta, just because we feel like this is my first movie I'm ever producing. I'm saying this is me producing. I'm in the meetings for this shit. Like, you know, imagine how crazy that is. Fucking producing a movie.
I
You know
can
what I
barely
mean?
produce an interview, brother. I'm sorry.
Real
I'm
shit.
just fucking with you. But either way, yes, I feel you on that.
So it's like, I feel like Atlanta would be more resourceful for me as a first time producer. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
People there all the time. And plus, Swirl got the fucking big ass studio that they got.
Right.
Like another big studio in Atlanta besides the Tyler Perry one.
Okay.
And it's on a different part of town. And
Big warehouse style type thing.
it's
Like,
stages. And it's like some of the stages, it's just opening and some of the stages not all the way open yet. And I don't think it's going to be finished to maybe like 2024 because it's going to be
Really?
like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that type of situation.
So, aside from microwave whipping, if you had to sacrifice one skill that you have, Benny, what would it be?
If I had to sacrifice one skill that I have, what I'm sacrificing it for, I'm just giving it up. Damn.
Right, you gotta axe it out of your life, bro.
I would give up. What can I do good? I can definitely cook.
Microwave whipping,
I
can't
could
give that up,
change.
man.
I
That's
could. I would probably give up. I would probably give up, man. My patience. To be honest with you,
wow.
I'm sick of
That's
being.
deep.
I'm sick of being patient.
You are a pretty
You know what I'm
patient
saying?
dude, yeah.
You can't if as long as I got that, I'm gonna be patient. I'm sick of being patient. Sometimes I be sick of being like the nice guy. I'll be sick of being like,
couldn't
you know what I
relate to you
mean? So
more,
I'll be like, man, patience out the fucking window.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For a while.
I
See
agree.
see where that get me at.
Fuck helping everybody and fuck being patient with them.
No, for real.
Right. No,
I might throw that nice guy shit out.
It's like, yo, So basically, Benny, if you weren't doing music right now, what do you think you'd be doing?
To be honest with you, I can't say what I was doing before this shit. Everybody know what I was doing before this shit.
Right.
Hopefully I wouldn't.
Digital age, that ain't too easy anymore.
Right. Hopefully I wouldn't still be doing that shit. But man, you know what I mean? It's hard to say.
Right.
I always done music, even in the middle of doing that. But man, it's hard to say. But man, 9 times out of 10, a nigga be somewhere doing some dumb shit.
Right.
A nigga be somewhere, not even dumb shit. You know, with a good weed trap.
Right.
You know what I mean? They not hard on weed now, marijuana. I be somewhere with a good weed trap, Eastside Buffalo or
Figuring out
some
a hustle
shit,
somehow,
getting some
right?
money. You know what I mean? Getting some money somewhere, definitely. You know what I
Now,
mean?
do you have a weed line? I think
Yes, I do.
saw, Butcher's
Butcher's Breath.
Butcher's
The Butcher's
Breath,
Breath.
that's
I
what it
got
is,
some on me right there. Smoking it right now. Hold on, let me see. Matter of fact, let me get
Yeah,
it.
let's
I gotta
grab
show.
some of that. I just
I
wanna
gotta
show
show people the
that.
Butcher Breath. I
Definitely,
have to.
let's
Y'all
see
gotta
the
see
Butcher
this.
Breath.
Come on, y'all.
Let's go.
I
We got some fresh digs in the
I
building.
smoke rapper's first choice.
Hey, he ain't even want my rapper weed, man. He said I got Butcher's Breath with me.
They load me up. This not the breath right here.
The camera too.
I mean, which camera? Yeah, we're done in the
I'm
camera.
gonna do all 4 if that's cool.
I got a new bag of it too.
We got the Butcher's Breath right there. That is the breath of Benny the Butcher. Pure gold.
You know what I'm saying? Gas.
Platinum.
Y'all know I smoke gas. Rapper's first choice.
Can you focus on that one, Andy? Give me a good tight shot of the Butcher's Breath, please. What these run, Benny? What are these, 8s?
Yes, they are. To be honest with you, I don't even know what they cost.
How do we get them? I just want the fucking bag to hang.
Man, you get these from Rapper's First Choice. Rapper's First Choice exclusively. You gotta look it up. I can't tell you what it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know sometimes it ain't all.
Another thing I just want to touch on real quick, Benny, because you are such a fucking incredible lyricist. Like, when you make a record, how? And I know you said like you went through processes where you wrote or didn't write or whatever, but like, how do you put your words to paper? Like, what exactly does your creative process look like? Does someone give you a beat and you write to it, or do you have? And like, I guess you elaborate on that because I'm curious, man.
All right. This is the secret. I explained this maybe, but I didn't really explain it for detail. Now, people know the kind of producers I work with. People know me for working with Alchemist. People know me for working with Derringer, Hit Boy, and Harry Fraud.
DJ Premier.
DJ fucking Premier. That was a good one. I'm glad you said that.
One, please.
I'm glad you said that.
That's a big one.
Because all these producers do the same thing,
Right.
and Primo, he kind of do it like more aggressively.
Primo different.
all of those producers I just named, they have an idea. If they play a beat for me, they have an idea on what they hear on this beat. So it don't just comes with them playing a beat, it comes with input. Hit Boy and Derringer, different producers, right? But trust me, they do the same shit. Hit Boy will play a beat for me, and he be like, yo, this sound like that. Da, da, da. And he might, whatever he say it sound like, that's what he that's his message to me, is like, this is that kind of thing. Derringer do the same thing. He'll play the beat, and he'll say like, yo, this sound like that. You know, maybe that like that one that me and you and Dust did it in New York.
Did they mimic your bars?
No, they don't mimic my bars.
Not in an offensive way, but like,
No.
Sound like that.
No, they don't mimic my bars. Like not try to tell me what the say far as words. They just put me in a mind frame of like, yo, this sound like that one song we did in New York that day.
Like, but you did Bust the Brick Nick. Like, we need to make sure we catch
Derringer,
that same vibe.
For Derringer, let me tell you, for Bust the Brick Nick, Derringer said this kind of sounds like 97 Hove to me. So you wonder why I'm
nail on the fucking
right.
head
So you
there.
wonder why I'm going that crazy, because Derringer, he just don't play the beat and walk out the room. He play the beat and be like, yeah, you know what? You hear that? That sound like 97 Hove to me. So I know what he's expecting out of this. And he put me in the mind frame. Okay. So all of those producers, so that's how I put a song together. I have once a producer put on a beat for me and they tell me what they hear, because they made the shit. You know what I mean? You knew I was coming to the studio. You knew you was playing this for me.
This is for Benny.
Exactly. So the professional producers, they giving you input on like what they hear on it already, because they made this shit.
Right.
So it's like you take that and you do whatever you can with it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, I feel like you're the type of dude, someone gives you a concept, like, okay,
I'm gonna kill it.
Okay.
I love working like that.
Whatever. Let me go in my truck for 2 minutes and come back out with a hot 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Hit Boy. I mean, these are major again, and like you're major. Not to undersell that at all, but like Jesus, dude, to have us on the map like that. And I hate to include Olean with Buffalo, but we are.
No, it is.
New York, man.
It's Western New York. Hell yeah.
You know it's Bills country down here
Yep.
at bare minimum.
That's a fact. But look though, let me even finish talking about that. The way Primo do that shit, Primo, he might even tell you how to record it. You know what I'm saying?
So elaborate on that, because Primo's a legend, man.
Basically, when I went in there and do verses for Primo, a good take and to you might not be a good take to him.
Really?
Only because he hears it a certain way, and that's good. It's good. Like you might it's like if you when you go to a restaurant, you hungry, you want steak. So they're asking you, how do you want it? Medium, rare, or well? He know how he want his. He know, like, no, this need to be rare. You might be doing it medium, and it might be dope like that, but he made the beat. He got an idea how he know it could sound. He listened, and what these producers do, they listen to your other shit too.
Right.
So they got an idea. So Primo will tell you like, and then just like you said, fucking earned that is understatement. He fucking, you know what I mean?
Like, you don't with me unless you are fucking something.
And then a smart motherfucker like me, what I do is, shit that these guys teach me, I make part of my regular routine. Right. You know what I'm saying? The shit that I learned from those guys, I do it all the time.
So if DJ Premier's making you practice a take 10 times, you're going into the next session, practice 10 times on the take, ready to deliver it the way Premier would have wanted it to a different producer, regardless, whatever it is.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's helping you elevate your
Basically.
your craft a little bit better, correct?
Yep. That's a fact.
Which, again, I mean, all this really boils down to somebody that's perfected their craft and learned how to capitalize off of it in an entrepreneurial way.
That's it.
So, This is gonna be an improv question, but like, where did you develop the butcher from? Because it's genius.
Man, the fans, the supporters, the Griselda fans and the supporters, they named me the butcher by me. I explained this before, but I love explaining it because people don't know where it came from. No matter how many times, I'm gonna be explaining this shit forever. But in one of my songs, I said, Benny the Butcher Dog, really I'm cooking raw. My city, I cook it all. I mean, some shit I said
Right.
a long time ago. So I kind of like brought that bar back during the early Griselda days. Benny the Butcher, or I said it's the Butcher or some shit like that, and people just start calling me that.
It's stuck.
So when I dropped my mixtape, by the time I dropped The Butcher on Steroids, it's like people wasn't looking for Benny. They was looking for Benny the Butcher.
That was a mixtape, right?
Right.
Butcher on steroids.
So what I had to do is I had to like change my name and the DSPs and everything. It's like, yo, take Benny out, real
so
shit.
like with all your streaming platforms and whatnot, like you had to basically swap your and
Call me Benny the Butcher because that's what the fans was knowing me more.
B.E.N.Y and
Definitely.
Benny the maid.
First, this was like this. This is the I love to see this story. I don't tell a lot. The evolution of the name Benny.
I hear it.
Now, my rap name used to be Desert Eagle.
His was Desert Sprite, but continue.
Oh, word? Okay.
Yeah, continue. Sorry.
Mine was Desert Eagle.
DJ Clue kind of thing, or Desert Storm, like.
It was the gun. I was named after the gun. Right. I like the gun. You know, my young days, my young pistol packing punk days, and it was like
they had the plastic one that you get through security. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
right.
the big barrel on the motherfuckers. So it's like this. I like the gun, but as I got nicer, I remember I was young. I was a young kid. That was my name when I was 15. And I'm telling you, I was like rapping in the neighborhood and shit. But as I got nicer and I was about 16, I realized like, yo, like you nice. You could do something with this shit. And I didn't, and I knew that I couldn't be named after a gun. This was my thinking at that time. Like you can't be named after a gun. So what you gonna name? I liked Benny Blanco from Carlito's Way. Yeah. Right. Benny Blanco. So I made it. My name was Benny Bravo. Okay. That was my name, Benny Bravo. And then I got nicer. I dropped the Bravo. You know what I mean?
I'm butchering, dude.
You know what I mean? And then it was Benny, and then it became 2 Chain Benny. You know what I'm saying? And then it was
Benny Main. That's the one.
There was 2 Chain Benny Main.
That's what I remember you as.
Exactly. It
2
was
Chain Benny Main.
And my name wasn't really 2 Chain Benny Main. My name was 2 Chain Benny, but on the song I said 2 Chain Benny Main, and everybody was calling me Benny Main. I'm like, yo, Benny Main, 2 Chain Benny Main. You know what I'm saying? So after I dropped the Bravo, it was Benny, and then I made it a acronym, Benny, best ever in New York, and then right after that, it was the Butcher. Those the evolutions of the name Benny, man. So people don't know that shit.
Well, I do want to say that I did name my son after you, Benny, and he's actually named after Benjamin Franklin because he's on the $100 bill. But like,
right,
you know,
I'll take it.
I know that's not your government and shit.
I'll take it.
But you are his favorite rapper, and I just want to shout out to my kid Benny on this one because he definitely asked for that. He's 4, going on 5.
Hey, Benny. Man, I want to say what's up to a little guy, and you're going to go through a lot of evolutions with that name, man.
He calls himself Benny the Butcher right now, so I don't know. Right. It's not flying at his Catholic school, but, like, we're good. I'm cool.
Benny the Butcher or Benny the Baby?
Literally, like, who's coming through, Benny the Butcher or Benny the Baby? Because, like, we've had this schedule. Like, I don't know.
Right.
My kid's coming through, man.
That's crazy.
Y'all got to chill. Turn the cameras off. Let my
Benny
kid
the
live.
Baby.
So, number one, I want to thank you again for coming down here and making this trip.
Mm-hmm.
My world famous artist right here, Benny the Butcher. He's not mine, but he's BSF's, he's Griselda's.
The Butcher coming.
Buffalo's. The Butcher's here. He's here. Mm-hmm. He's finally here.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of big shit in store for the future. We got some shows
I like your style.
We're gonna work out.
We're gonna put some shows together. We're gonna use all of this shit. You see you, camera right there, you motherfuckers. We using all you motherfuckers. We're gonna put this shit to work, man. This is a dope spot. I mean, I like what y'all got going on here. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I got to come see it for myself, and we gonna kick it.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having this conversation with me, and honestly, thank you for gracing me with your presence. Honestly. because
Love.
you've been a hero of mine for about 9 years now, and to put a face to that finally is almost surreal.
Man,
Luckily, the champagne
love.
took over, and the filet mignons.
It's all good. Come on, before we get
Cheers.
out of here.
We got Benny the Butcher in the building. Cheers.